So can I just say how exciting it is to be here, Sandy, on your farm, your countryside head office of CEO Works, which is getting pretty global now. It's really exciting to be here.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Hein, I would echo how exciting it is for all of us to have you here, but even more importantly, to have you as a part of the team and establishing the headquarters and the beachhead at the same time for us in Europe.
Yeah.
And we have had so much demand from clients in Europe, and yet I think they find it a little bit off-putting that we don't have a presence there.
Yeah.
And when we were looking at the numbers at the end of last year, we discovered that 60% of our revenue is outside the U.S.
Right.
So this is already not a U.S. firm.
Yes, exactly.
But I think we have an opportunity for it to be much different going forward.
Yeah. So I can't stop going back to the days that we got to know each other when I worked in your team in Unilever and you turned the chief HR officer, and I moved on to become a chief HR officer myself, and again I moved on to become a chief HR officer in another company. And over all those years we have kept in touch, and that was, as far as I'm concerned, for two reasons. First, there was a deep personal liking, and secondly, in my view, you've always been groundbreaking in HR. So you're truly innovative in HR and in people management. And when I matured in my own professionalism, it increasingly became clear to me that very often we are excited by fancy solutions, but there not being any problem to be solved. And even worse, if there was a problem, it often didn't have to do with company performance. So, and that made me think, so why are we here in the company? And then the lesson I learned is, sorry, at the end of the day, we're here for one reason, which is company performance and value creation. And what I think CEO Works has done very well is exactly focusing on what are the very few things you have to get very right in order to drive value creation. That's probably my high level summary of what we're doing here.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Hein, I'm so deeply grateful when I reflect back on those early days at Unilever.
Yes.
Because, you went out of your way to make me and my family feel comfortable in a new environment. And, I might have looked on the surface like I was completely confident and comfortable and everything, but I was
You did.
I was anything but that.
Right.
And Maria was 8 months pregnant
exactly.
when we made the move. And so there were a lot of personal details in addition to getting to know and understand the company.
Yeah.
And you were very gracious and helpful through that onboarding period.
Yeah.
And even a fairly sort of somewhat tortured recruitment process.
Yes. It really was. Yes, you're right.
It was a little bit tortured and kind of extended, but you were my guide through that, and I've always been deeply grateful.
Oh, that's very kind of you. I remember those days very well. and actually, if you look at senior people, key people getting into their job, we often neglect the importance of the first 3 months. We just, if there were a simple process, and there are those simple processes by which you can help a new incumbent in a truly critical position, that does a lot. Well, it does a lot to the well-being of that person, which is great, but it also does a lot to their impact in the job. And
right.
and we've been pretty late to come to that understanding.
Yeah, because if you're in a new environment. We were in a new country, and we were a relatively young family at that point. And if you go home and everybody's unsettled there, it makes it difficult to do a great job and be focused on what you need to do at work. And so those things really do make a difference.
Yeah.